stories new at 6. Embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is mounting a re-election bid. Henyard made the announcement in a post on her Facebook page.
Now an NBC 5 News exclusive, there is more controversy for the mayor of Dolton tonight. Apparently when she caught workers removing banners with her picture on them, she called police.
The latest chapter in Dolton, Illinois' political saga has all the makings of a reality TV show. And there's no shortage of drama. At the center of it all, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor who's managed to turn her small suburban town into the talk of the nation, is also terminally ill. From allegations of financial mismanagement to personal scandals, Henyard seems to be in a free fall, but somehow she's still holding on to power. Whether she's a misunderstood hero or a political villain, one thing's for sure, she's not going down without a fight. So, how do we get here? Let's dive into the wild ride that's been Henyard's last few years in office. And trust us, you won't believe some of the things happening in Dolton.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
First off, Henyard's decision to hire a new legal team has raised eyebrows across the board, with lawsuits piling up from all sides: trustees, business owners, angry residents, and even her landlord. It's no surprise she's feeling the heat and looking for top-notch representation. But here's the kicker. She's hiring high-profile defense attorneys while her own finances are crumbling. It's hard not to see the irony here. You've got a mayor facing eviction and lawsuits, yet she's gearing up for a legal battle she clearly can't afford. Or can she?
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
Rumor has it that Henyard is using village funds to foot the bill for her legal defense. Several trustees have accused her of dipping into public money to pay for her attorneys, which, if true, would only add fuel to the fire of corruption allegations already burning around her. Trustees like Jason House and Brittany Norwood have been particularly vocal about the mayor's reckless spending, claiming that he's been funneling taxpayer dollars into personal luxuries while Dolton sinks deeper into debt. The village is currently in a financial hole so deep it might never climb out, with a deficit running into the millions. And what's even more shocking is that Henyard doesn't seem to care. Just last year, a report from former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's team revealed that Dolton's finances were in shambles. Lightfoot, who was brought in to investigate the village's budget under Henyard's administration, found that Dolton's general fund had dropped from more than $5 million in April 2022 to a jaw-dropping deficit of just over $3,650,000 by May 2024. That's right, in just 2 years, millions disappeared, and no one seems to know where it went. Or do they?
And Micah, tonight was a special board meeting because business has not gotten done at 2 previous meetings. So that's some progress there. But this meeting was not without its fair share of tension.
Lightfoot's investigation uncovered some seriously questionable spending. For starters, there were charges on the village's credit card for everything from Amazon to Target to Walgreens, totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars. One Amazon purchase alone was listed at $3,000, part of a spending spree that saw nearly $4,300 spent in a single day. And get this, there are barely any receipts to back up these transactions. How do you spend that kind of money on Amazon and not have anything to show for it? It's almost too crazy to believe, but this is Dolton under Henyard's rule, where anything goes. What's even more infuriating to Dolton residents is that while their village is drowning in debt, Henyard has been living it up. She's been accused of using public funds for personal expenses, including luxury travel, dining at high-end restaurants, and even throwing lavish parties. One such event, a Valentine's Day party complete with an ice rink, cost the village over $8,500. And who was the guest of honor? None other than R&B singer Kiki Wyatt and rapper Jay Holiday. The fact that Henyard is spending taxpayer money on celebrity appearances while Dolton can't even afford basic services like tree maintenance or police patrols is enough to drive anyone mad.
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
But Henyard's spending habits aren't the only thing raising alarms. Her personal life has also come under scrutiny, especially after her landlord, Janetta Hull, went public with claims that Henyard hasn't paid rent in months and is facing eviction. According to Hull, Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, owe over $5,000 in back rent and have refused to pay since August. What's worse, Hull says that Henyard and Woods changed the locks on the property, preventing her from getting inside to perform routine maintenance. Now, you'd think that someone pulling in over $300,000 between their job as mayor and township supervisor could afford to pay rent, but apparently not. Hull, who once considered Henyard a friend, says she feels betrayed and is now facing financial ruin herself because of the unpaid rent. She's even had to hire a process server to track down Henyard and serve her with eviction papers, which has only added to her mounting legal fees. To say it's a mess would be an understatement.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
And speaking of messes, let's talk about the lawsuits Henyard is facing. There's the one from her landlord, of course, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Henyard is also being sued by Dolton trustees who accuse her of illegal appointments, misusing village funds, and withholding financial records. One of the most explosive charges comes from former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins, who claims that Henyard fired him without cause because she believed his wife was friends with her political enemies. Collins is now suing for wrongful termination, and his case has only added to the growing list of scandals surrounding the mayor. But for all the legal trouble Henyard is in, she doesn't seem to be backing down. In fact, she's doubling down. Earlier this year, she announced that she's running for re-election, despite the mounting opposition to her leadership. And here's the wild part, Henyard actually believes she's going to win. In a recent Facebook post, she confidently declared that she's coming in on a landslide, comparing herself to none other than Donald Trump. Yes, you heard that right. Henyard is painting herself as the comeback kid of Dolton politics, and she's not going down without a fight.
Well, for the first time in many weeks, Dolton trustees and Mayor Tiffany Henyard held a public meeting together, but not at Village Hall.
But Dolton residents aren't so sure. Many are fed up with Henyard's antics, and they've been showing up to village board meetings in droves to voice their outrage. One resident, Sherry Britton, who originally voted for Henyard, now says it was the biggest regret of her life. When she got into office, she just shut everyone out and she went into the opposite direction. She became this tyrant and dictator, Britton said. Others have compared Henyard to South American dictators like Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro, pointing to the billboards featuring her face plastered all over town as evidence of her growing megalomania. But Henyard doesn't see it that way. In fact, she's made it clear that she believes she's being unfairly targeted by her political enemies. In a recent Facebook Live rant, Henyard went off on her detractors, accusing them of orchestrating a power and money grab and threatening to have them arrested. "I will be seeking arrest for individuals involved," Henyard said during the nearly 90-minute broadcast. "I will be pressing charges." It's a lot, and that's just me telling you a little bit.
It's a power grab. That's it. Power and money grab.
Of course, Henyard didn't specify what crimes her opponents had committed, but that didn't stop her from promising to reveal the full truth at a later date. It's not the first time she's made such claims. Back in 2023, Henyard launched a short-lived podcast where she promised to spill the tea on her enemies, but the show fizzled out before she could deliver. Now, it seems like her Facebook Live rants are the new platform for her to air her grievances, but whether or not she'll actually follow through on her threats remains to be seen. As for the people of Dolton, many are just plain tired of the drama. Trustee Jason House, who's running against Henyard in the next election, has called her leadership a disaster and says the village can't afford to keep her in office. Dolton is the only community where, in order to get a business license or a liquor license, you need an attorney. House said during a recent board meeting, echoing the frustrations of local business owners who say Henyard's administration has made it nearly impossible to operate in the village.
But you don't even have a sense to even look in our face. But you rather just steal our money and do what you want to do.
One such business owner, Lawrence Gardner, claims that Henyard shut down his trucking company after he refused to make a political donation to her campaign. Gardner says he initially made a $3,500 contribution to Henyard's political war chest, but when she came back asking for more, he refused. That's when city officials allegedly revoked his business license, fabricating claims that he was illegally selling spirits. What is she, Nino Brown? Gardner said, referencing the iconic Substance Kingpin character from the movie New Jack City. Anything she wants done, she gets them to harass you. Gardner's story isn't unique. Several other local business owners have come forward with similar claims accusing Henyard of using her political power to retaliate against those who don't support her. And it's not just business owners. Even former allies, like trustee Kiana Belcher, have turned on Henyard, accusing her of squandering village funds and running the town like a dictatorship.
I'd like to make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
We here to handle the business, not let the business handle us. That's what we are elected to do, sir. So please.
Belcher, who once supported Henyard's campaign, now says she regrets ever backing her. We thought it would be something great. A young person in office, she had already been on the board. It was a different outlook for the town. Forward, Belcher said. But it started probably 2 weeks after she had been in office as mayor. We got a bill for the inauguration. The bill was like 500-0. It was a big party, basically. And the parties haven't stopped since. Henyard has made a name for herself as the queen of Dolton's social scene, throwing extravagant events on the taxpayer's dime while the village's finances go up in smoke. One of the most infamous examples was the Love on the Ice Valentine's Day party, which featured egoos, R&B music, and a skating rink that cost the village over $2 million to build. The kicker? The rink only opens when Henyard is hosting an event. It's this kind of spending that has Dolton residents up in arms. Many feel that Henyard's priorities are completely out of whack, focusing more on her own image and personal brand than on the needs of the community. And the billboards plastered with her face only add to the perception that she's more interested in self-promotion than public service.
Dolton is the only community that in order to get a business license or a liquor license, you need an attorney.
So, what do you think? Is Henyard truly the super mayor she claims to be? Or is her time in office coming to an end? Will the people of Dolton finally hold her accountable? Or will she manage to hold on to power for another term? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this wild political roller coaster.